This looks like an inflamed and pretty irritated ingrown hair. This is from Beard Plucking on TikTok, and she's always picking on her fiance, pulling out these large hairs. This one is irritated. We've got another one coming up. It's kind of splitting on the end. But she finds all of these ones that are thicker. When they're not inflamed, I don't see the purpose in pulling them out, other than for our entertainment. That one was gray, so it had to go. That one has less pigment, but it looked totally healthy otherwise. And he must really like her, because he sits through a ton of these videos and just lets her pick on him. She's just going to town. Technique looks good. I mean, she's pulling them in the direction that they're growing, so hopefully that's a little less painful. And she's got a good camera. Fun. This one is slightly ingrown, kind of stuck there under the hair follicle. Removing some of that dead skin that's sitting on top. Okay, now it looks like it's a little inflamed. I can see that underneath there. And she's got it. Now get it out. That one's a little thicker than the others. Just going after the stubby one there. More than one hair can grow out of a follicle opening. I don't fully know her criteria for which one she's going to get and which one she's not, because some of these look totally healthy. This one's a little ingrown. But again, every time you pluck it out, it's got to grow back up through all the layers of the skin, and I think it increases the risk of getting more ingrown hairs. She usually does get any of them that don't have pigment, and he just puts up with it. All right, we got a pretty big ingrown, it's not an ingrown hair, more of a cyst here. They're opening up the top, kind of loosening it up. Fair amount underneath the skin, just squeeze it out. This looks like skin that is pretty photo damaged. They've got multiple of these little cysts on the skin. Could be Fabry-Rocachot syndrome. I'm not sure what part of the body this is, but if it's on the face, you get all these dilated pores on really photo damaged skin. We'll often call that Fabry-Rocachot syndrome. We've got a kind of a cyst here inside the ear. I'm not really sure what to call this tool that they're using. But they're just kind of poking it, loosening up the top. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull the whole thing out with that. No, we got the other tool coming in, the comedone extractor now applying gentle pressure, and it pops right out. So we see there's a hole there still. Could grow back. This person has several cysts in the armpits. They don't really look inflamed, but developing cysts like this could be a sign of hidradenitis, but the material coming out of this is really oily. That might be something called a steatocystoma. Big pimple or dilated pore behind the ear. Good technique, wearing gloves. Hopefully the person has been numbed, because it looks like the skin's been opened up quite a bit there. I had to see it, so you have to see it. This is a pimple inside the nose. Ooh. There are a lot of blackheads on the skin here. And they're popping out easy with that comedone extractor. So much stuff keeps coming out. Using gloves, got the right tools. I like it. This person needs a good skincare routine. Some salicylic acid, has a leave-on product probably, maybe some medium strength chemical peels. Definitely getting you on a retinol if you come into me like this. Laser resurfacing, maybe tighten those pores up once we get them extracted. But they do need extraction when they get like this. You can't just use a cream and expect all of these to go away. Extraction is a part of the treatment here. But then we go into prevention. This is a big pimple right on the lip line, almost like a dilated pore right there. Very tender spot. I do not envy anybody who has had a pimple there. I've definitely had them. I don't know if you've had them, but they are tender. They're hard to pop, and they just hurt. Kind of interesting gloves here. So much texture to them. Allows you to get a good grip on the skin. And they popped it right out. Hopefully it won't grow back. This person has a lot of blackheads and inflammatory acne. So extractions are important here in this treatment to get rid of those non-inflamed blackheads. Probably the inflamed ones need to come out too. But then for a skincare routine, this person, they could be a candidate for Accutane. When we get skin that looks like this, we also think about chemical exposures, industrial chemicals, something called chloracne. There's certain types of chemicals that will damage the skin and cause significant acne like this. They're popping out really easy. They're just using an 11 blade to kind of open up the top. Popping them out, putting them on the glove. Like little worms popping out of the skin. This is from Sac Dep Spa, I believe, which is in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. Good camera work. Boom. Come out nicely. Blackheads on the nose is a different level here. So they do have a lot of blackheads. They look pretty deep, and there's a lot of stuff coming out of them. A good skincare routine can help to prevent this, but when they get this big, you do kind of need to extract them. And it's really satisfying to do. Obviously satisfying to watch, but so much more satisfying when I get to do this to patients. Maybe I need to open my clinic more to just doing extractions. What do you guys think? Start recording more of my own patients. Not everybody that comes in wants to be on camera, though. You get there on the side of the nose, and now on the lip. Some of this is going to be real tender. Boom. Getting all the little ones. Don't underestimate over the course of your lifetime how sunscreen can help limit your risk of developing acne. This person still looks pretty young, but that sunlight damages the collagen, dilates the pores, makes you much more prone to getting a lot of blackheads on the skin. But very efficient in getting these out of here. Boom, scrape, boom, scrape. I mean, just like going to town on these. This person would do well with like a tretinoin, prescription retinol. Good cleanser every day. Salicylic acid in the morning. Just keeps going. This one is crazy. There is so much hair inside this piercing. This person had a large gauge piercing through the ear. They didn't take good care of it. And most of this that you're seeing didn't grow inside the ear. This is hair that came through the back of the ear, tangled up around and around the stem of the piercing, started causing pain for the person. I don't know how they didn't care for this better. But that is a huge chunk of hair. But yeah, you got to take better care of your piercings. And that, look how much stuff came out of there. There's still so much wound around the piercing. I would not re-pierce this. I would not put something back in. I would freshen up those edges, suture it closed, and tell the person they don't get a piercing there for a while. But they put another one back in, I think they're going to be at high risk to have this problem happen again if they don't keep that clean, turn it frequently, keep the hair out of the back of that piercing. We've got a piercing on the tongue, and it's got a hair woven around it. In the original video, she says you can take your own guess where that hair came from. But they got it off of there. Just a lot of stuff on the tongue. You should brush your tongue. Every time you brush your teeth, brush your tongue. So they're going to take the piercing out. I think this is the right call in this case. And I would not put it back in. I think that's a bad idea. Not a big fan of tongue piercings in general. Just take it out, let the tongue heal up. A lot of big blackheads here using these forceps. That's kind of like a comedone extractor. They're popping out easily. Pinch them, grab them. Super satisfying. They've got gauze, they've got the right tools, they're wearing gloves, doing the right things. When they get this big, again, you got to extract them. You got to get these out. And then get the person on the right skincare routine. I think we're just on the cheek here. I don't know if that's the nose or the ear that I'm seeing in the left corner of the video. Got to move that camera. Cameraman, come on. Keep us right in the action. Definitely getting some irritation. This has to be the longest ingrown hair in history. We'll be the judge of that because we've definitely seen some pretty gnarly ones here on the channel. I don't like that we're not using gloves. That kind of trips me out. And then just going in and prying that out. Dirty fingertips. Like, this needs better treatment than just extraction. Clearly you have to extract in this circumstance, but it's going to come back. There's sinus tracts under the skin. Holy cow, that is a lot of stuff. I don't know about the longest in history, but it's certainly making a case for it. I don't know if that's all one hair. If you stretched it out end to end, how long would that be? But man, that is a ton of stuff. And just grabbing it with the fingers on a little cotton ball.